Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun video we are on location. We are once again in historic downtown Burlington, North Carolina. You can see the historic train depot right there, so very close to that location here in the heart of downtown Burlington, North Carolina. And we are at a store that I really love called Lizzie's Playthings, where Wishbook dreams come true. More specifically, where Sears Wishbook dreams comes true. If you guys remember the old Sears and Roebuck stores, they sent out the Christmas catalogs. Now I was on the tail end of that generation, so I do remember getting the last couple Sears catalogs in the mail, but I was more familiar with stores like Walmart, Kmart, Toys R Us, or things like that. But this store is based on the toys that could be found in the Sears Wishbook. If it was in the Sears Wishbook, they can most likely get it for you. Again, right in the heart of downtown Burlington, right across the street is the Burlington Company Shops Amtrak train station that we've already been to. And I thought since it was right here at Christmas time, it would be a great time to come in and look, because this is the time of year, and you guys know how much I love nostalgia, and I'm driven by nostalgia and things like that, that this would be the perfect time to be reminiscent of the old five and dime stores that would have stuff decorated in these storefront windows. They've got a nice Christmas tree here in front. I'll come down here to this other window. Hopefully it doesn't glare too much and you guys can see all of the toys in here. Some very nice vintage toys. But I do know the owners of this store. They have got me to be the pirate. I dressed up as the pirate for their store anniversary 1 year. So really, really cool. So let's turn the camera around and explore Lizzie's Playthings. Now before we go in, here is the store hours, Wednesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., as well as the phone number, and they are on Facebook. What I'll do is leave a link in the description box below to where they can be found on the Facebook social medias. But here we have an overview of the store. You can see it is packed with vintage toys and nostalgia. We'll look at everything more up close, but I wanted to show you guys a little roundabout of it right off the get-go so you could see what this store is all about. And they have another section that I'll show you in this video here that's dedicated to model trains, so that's really cool as well. But let's start looking at and touring Lizzie's Playthings. And right inside the front door, they have a bunch of amazing stuff prominently displayed. They have these vintage jigsaw puzzles here. I remember putting puzzles together with my grandmother. She loved putting a good jigsaw puzzle together, so those are fond memories to look back on. They have some vintage board games here. Really, really cool. Huge fan of Monopoly and the Game of Life. We have several versions of the game, of the Monopoly game, and I remember playing it on vacation. Some nice Hot Wheels cars here. You guys know I'm a huge Hot Wheels fan. Some old vintage toys here. Some of them are made of wood. Some classic Toy Story toys. The movie celebrates, I believe it's 30 years this year. Remember going to the theaters and seeing that. And I do have this train here. I haven't found it yet in the family attic, but I do have this. I do believe, if I remember correctly, yep, had this and played with it so much when I was little. And they even have a smaller version down here. Another little Christmas tree and some potato head figures. Moving right along with the classics, we have the Flintstones here. We have the Rubbles here, front and center. Barney and Betty with Bam Bam, and here's Wilma. Here we have the Peanuts characters, as well as Winnie the Pooh. Some seasonal troll figures here. I've got a few of these. I remember they had like a jewel or rhinestone in their belly button. Raggedy Ann and Andy. Really cool stuff, and some of this stuff is what we call new old stock, or what I call new old stock, meaning it's new and in the box, but it's still vintage. So really cool. A wooden Thomas the Tank Engine train table here. Had a chance to get one of these a few years ago, but I passed it up because I really didn't have nowhere to put one. But it's nice that they have the wooden railway stuff here for the little ones to play with while the parents are doing the shopping. And they have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of vintage dolls up here. If you guys know, in the model train and nostalgia room, I have my grandmother's old doll case, and all of her dolls was packed up with love and care, and I have now got books and other stuff displayed in it. The old vintage Fisher-Price Little People. Had a bunch of these growing up. This one's made of wood, but then the newer ones that came out, they were of course made of plastic. Nice dog theme one there. And here we have the Smurfs. I know they are very popular among collectors. A lot of stuff here. I was not a Smurfs fan. I mean, I didn't have anything against them, I just wasn't drawn to them, but I was drawn to the California Raisins. I really loved these, and I've got some of these in the model train and nostalgia room. I've also got a huge set of these. I believe Hardee's released these, I can't remember. Got a bunch of vintage California Raisin figures. Have some vintage dolls here. And if you guys are familiar with me making custom ornaments for people on the laser, really, really cool. More vintage goodies. And every time I come in here, this long table here in the middle has always been rearranged, rotated out. Looks like some vintage Dutch dolls here with the wooden shoes. Some very old, looks like handmade dolls here, really cool. You can hear the train in the background. Of course, we are right near the train station. Very old vintage comic books here. Really neat. And of course, with it being Christmas time, they do have a selection of beautiful Christmas ornaments. So really, really neat. Another Christmas tree. And then we'll go all the way around here. Little snow baby figurines, kind of like the Hummel figurines. Nice sand dollar ornaments here. Of course, that'd be cool to put on the tree since we love the beach so much. The classic Rudolph figurines. You had Hermie the Elf, who wanted to be a dentist. You had Yukon Cornelius. You had Santa Claus and the Bumble. And a nice vintage Donald Duck here, dressed as Santa Claus. Beautiful polyresin wreath. So a lot of cool and unique stuff here at Lizzie's Playthings. Down here on the floor, they do have loose Hot Wheels that you can go through. I believe Matt Kenseth drove this car, the DeWalt 17 car. Have another basket full over here. These would be good to put on model train layouts, especially if you didn't like Hot Wheels per se. You know, if you just wanted some cars for your model train layout or something. Really, really cool. At only $1 each. And then here we have vintage McDonald's Happy Meal toys. So they are in these bags here. Remember them coming out. I got tons and tons of Happy Meal toys growing up. And you never know what you'll find when you get the Happy Meal toys. One of the big things at Lizzie's Playthings is, of course, dolls. The owner does go to doll shows throughout the year. And you can see they are very passionate about them. Some of these I do remember because I have girl cousins, and when they were growing up, I do remember my grandmother and my grandfather getting them these seasonal Barbies, like, you know, the winter Barbies each and every year to put up as collectibles. Here you see one dressed up as the legendary Cher. Then you have one for 1959, 1962, 1971, the 80s edition right beside that. Really cool. Welcome back, Cotter. So really vintage stuff there. And you can come down here into the cases as well. Nancy Drew book. Little tea sets. Very popular among the little ones. More vintage dolls here. Then we have some, then we have some clothing here. You can go through the outfits here. So you could potentially pick up a nice new doll and a whole wardrobe to go along with it while you are here shopping. Then they have the NASCAR themed Barbies, and I actually have this one here because it was for Hot Wheels. It ties in with the Hot Wheels stuff and love of NASCAR growing up, and it is sitting up on a shelf. So really cool to have Barbie in the Hot Wheels racing suit. And they have several display cases with some very vintage stuff. You can see here,
Hey, it's me again.
coming up here, and I am up here during store hours, but you can see here a lot of vintage stuff here. More stuff here. Looks like more traditional Hummel figurines. Then they have, what's this called? Clever Monkey. I guess he traverses the beam there, goes back and forth, an old tin toy. And then over here they have what looks like a nice little rocket ship for a carnival. Wooden doll here. Then we have Pooh and Friends from the 100 Acre Woods. Very popular stories. And just so many more dolls and other stuff up here at Lizzie's Playthings. And up here on the top, they have a bunch of vintage stuff right here. Some stuff I'm familiar with. More Peanuts. I believe this is...
Eureka's Castle.
Who is what?
Eureka's Castle.
Eureka. Yes! Oh wow, I forgot totally about that. I think I've got him. I think I had him when I was little.
Those were Pizza Hut toys.
Okay, okay. Got some Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And then some Christmas stuff here. And a beautiful nativity scene celebrating the true meaning of Christmas. They have some more stuff here. Oh, they got these little pirate figures here. Looks like they're made out of wood. Looks like you have the captain here gazing out. The ship, the helmsman as they call it, driving the ship. And then they have, I guess, just a pirate crew. He's dancing a little jig there. Oops. Stand him back up. And we have just so much more here to look at. And right inside the front door, they have this beautifully detailed Christmas tree that's set up year-round. And at the base of the tree, they have characters from Winnie the Pooh and Friends. Tigger's dressed up as a swashbuckling pirate there. You can go around and see them. And then a little farther down, we have Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, Deal, Angelica, Susie Carmichael, and Spike from the classic Nickelodeon show The Rugrats. And then down here you have some very vintage Simpsons characters of the whole Simpsons clan here of Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. And then we have some Sesame Street characters here at the base of this beautifully decorated Christmas tree. And my friends, it is of course Merry Christmas indeed. So let's go next door and I'll show you guys the hobby side of Lizzie's Playthings. Now, as I said, they also have another side, and on this side is more geared to hobbies and models and dioramas. You can see here they have this little pull-out drawer here. You have like little old school entertainment systems, shelves, stuff like that for decorating like the doll houses. You have like straw hats for the people. You have fences here. Here you could put these little stone statues in like a garden or something, then the trees and the foliage and all. Nice little castle there. And they do sell some model trains here. Pre-war Lionel. And of course, with all these videos, if you guys want to pause the video to really go over something, you can totally do that. They have HO scale cars, tracks, and accessories. So really neat there. You have a whole little bag full of the figurines you can paint up. Another Lionel train set here. So really, really neat. Nice model airplane there. And then these beautiful little Hawthorne Village, Thomas Kincaid villages. I mean, there's my hand, and you can see the immaculate detail in them and how delicate they are. There's 4 individual ones here. So really, really cool. Then they have an ice skating ring here. We have something similar to this packed up with the Christmas decorations. These figures here have like magnets on them, and when you turn it on, the magnets underneath the simulated ice will move, and it'll give the illusion that they are ice skating on a frozen pond or a lake. And then they also have a N-scale train layout here with a nice little steam locomotive. Looks like they have some construction going on. They're building some new houses in the town. But an N-scale locomotive with 3 passenger coaches. I guess he's coming around here to the station. And then you have over here the local country church. And then beside this you have 2 beautiful handmade doll houses. And then right here you have one of the vintage silver Christmas trees. My mom's shown me a picture from years and years ago when her and her sister had these when they were growing up. My grandma and grandpa got them for them growing up. And you have the old traditional silver themed Christmas tree. I'm going to try to back up and get it all in frame there. So really, really neat. And I like that that is right by the door. Now, in case you guys do not know what the Wishbook is that I mentioned, here it is, open to some model trains. Every year Sears would come out with this beautiful Wishbook. So here we have one from 1992. I was around 4 or 5 years old when this one came out. But as you can see, it was packed with the stuff that you would want to wish for. So not only toys, but you can see the vintage craftsman tools here, some household goods, some old school TVs, some old school video cameras. But Sears was well known for sending out the Sears Wishbook. This one here was from 1981, so 7 years before I was born. And it does indeed have the classic Sears logo there. I do miss that store being at the mall. And then right here, something really, really cool to me. They have some vintage Hot Wheels cars here, so really cool. In one of the old carrying cases here, you can see it says Rally Case, Hot Wheels by Mattel there at the base. So really, really neat. A lot of the vintage stuff here. Of course, I do love the old school look of the classic Hot Wheels. But my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this tour of Lizzie's Playthings in downtown Burlington. I'm going to turn the camera around one more time and we'll close the video. All right, my friends, that's going to about wrap up our time at Lizzie's Playthings, and the owner is so kind. She actually gave me a gift, thought enough about the Artisan Pirate to give me a gift. So thank you for that, my friends. I really and truly appreciate it. But hopefully this video inspires you guys to come to historic downtown Burlington and stop by Lizzie's Playthings when they are open. Again, all social media links associated with this store will be linked down in the description box below for you guys to go and see. Keep in mind, this is in the heart of downtown Burlington, so there is several shops, several dining options down here, so you can make it a day of it. And the train station is right behind the camera, so you could even hop a train and come down here and do some storefront Christmas shopping this holiday season. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you'll click that subscribe button and also follow me across all my social media feeds under the Artisan Pirate name. As always, links to contact me as well as all my social media feeds will always be linked in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you guys. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Merry Christmas, take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.